appreciation month to be sure. I am finally going to order this item. And it's like, what in the world does she do with all this stuff? Let me just tell you, my house is one big HSN emporium. But as my fellow Minnesotan and guest Rebecca knows, I am very, very picky with my ice. And I use ice in a lot of things, whether I'm crushing ice for margaritas or a shrimp cocktail. I use it when I blanch my vegetables, let alone I like to consider myself a connoisseur of fine spirits. Or, you know, just even your non-alcoholic beverages. I don't want to be diluting those. And I'm trying to limit the dairy in my diet. So I gotta be honest, I'm probably gonna buy this so that I can thicken my smoothies without the addition of dairy. All those things being said, this is an HSN exclusive. It's really a phenomenon. Customers love it. So it makes ice. You don't have to have a plumber or anybody install this. We hear from people all the time who plug this in with converters at a picnic shelter or even their RV or their, you know, mobile home, whatever it might be. So you can do that, you know, easy to clean, you know, so you don't worry about plumbing. So let me show you the colors. Here's our stainless. This is our turquoise. Here is our copper, our red, and then we call this black, but it really is kind of like a hematite color. And then it is also on a 4 flex pay of $32.49. Rebecca Wood is back. Where were you last night when I was blanching my asparagus and I had the stinky ice that took forever to make in my freezer, and I thought, doggone it, I talk about these things often enough with Rebecca. Why in the world don't I have one yet? Hey, people, once they get it at home, they kind of wonder how they lived without it, right?
They do. I mean, read the reviews. It's so funny because once they get it home, they're like, what have I done all my life? Having to run out and get that extra basket or deal with a refrigerator funky ice that breaks down all of the time, when you can just plug it in, add some water, and in 7 minutes get a full tray of ice. I love to show this because the ice cubes in this are really, really cool. Do you see how they pack together because they're bullet-shaped ice cubes? So that really is great how they just fit together. So your drink is going to cool down faster and taste better than any drink you've had, because it's not being stored next to your leftovers, or it doesn't have any of those impurities in it. And this is the sound you're gonna hear every 7 minutes. Do you see what's happening? There's little stainless steel prongs in there. They flash freeze the water, so no impurities. And then they're gonna take it from that tray into the main tray and then go back to making your next tray of ice, which means in 24 hours, Shannon, you can get up to 26 pounds of ice. So when I say you'll never have to buy another bag of ice, I mean it.
And yeah, I mean, but I'm just, that's why I say, where have I been? I mean, you and I have talked about this often enough. I should have texted you at like 3 o'clock in the morning when I was making this soup and I needed this, you know, ice. And I was so doggone irritated with myself. And I thought I should just text Rebecca now because I knew that we were gonna have this in this show. It really is true. Once you have this, you wonder how you ever lived without it. I know Callie and Alice, they always talk about using this on their boat. My friend Kitty, I'm probably gonna be getting Kitty that Wagner Today's Special. Her dream is she wants to retire in the next year, but she wants to buy, what is it? Is it the Airstream? You know those.
Oh yes.
Golf. You know those nice souped up. You know. Homes on wheels. But she's being very thoughtful about what she's putting in that little kitchenette. And have ice will travel, whether that's the picnic shelter, whether that's the band shelter, if that's on the beach and you're tailgating, you know, staycation, whatever it might be. Rebecca, I know when when we went through Hurricane Irma a couple of years ago, you were the most popular person on the block because you used the converter and, you know, plugged it into your cigarette lighter, which, by the way, you can buy those. Now, the one thing that I do always like to mention, as you know, and it's something that we cover, is this is an ice maker, not an ice storer. So remember, once you've made the ice, take it out of there. Just, you know, bears mentioning. It's about 9.5 inches by 14 1/8 inches by about 12 3/4 inches. So 9.5, little over 14, little less than 13, about the size of a bread maker. And Rebecca, to talk about the simplicity of this again. So I could put my fancy artisanal glacial ice or water in here and make glacial ice cubes. I could, you know, my tap water, whatever my water is, I put my water in and then it makes ice the way restaurants make ice, right?
It does. It flash freezes it. And you're right. All you have to do is take it out of the box, plug it in to any standard outlet. That is it. You add the water. It holds about a gallon of water, which I love because when you are having those get togethers, those big events, you don't have to babysit it. It's going to continue to churn out a tray of ice every 7 minutes without fail. And then the fact that all you need is that standard outlet, there's no drain, no water line needed. This is our most portable version ever. It's the lightest at about 18 pounds. So when we're talking about all those get-togethers, camping, when we're talking about the back of my car, you're right, I was making ice because look at how much ice it's falling out. It's that full. Take a look at that. I was making so much ice, I was giving it to my neighbors and they were giving me wine in return. I think that was a fair trade. I do. The other thing is because it's the lightest one, take it to your friends' parties. Take it to your RV, your boat. Because if you're still using this, which a lot of people are, especially in assisted livings, condos, dorms, this is going to take you 6 hours for 14 ice cubes. Your refrigerator ice maker is going to take 3.5 hours. With ours, every 7 minutes, you're going to get a tray of ice. Take a look. Did you see that fall? You're going to hear that every 7 minutes, Shannon.
I love it. And okay, let me see. This is a large one. I'm going to see if I can, before it starts to melt. Rebecca, I know you did this as well. Sometimes it's a little easier in the studio to get a shot, but there are two different types of ice, meaning, you know, the small and the large. Oh, Prince, sorry, they're starting to melt. But they also don't look like regular ice. This is that creamy, dreamy ice that never tastes like, you know, onion or peas in the freezer, right?
Right. It's going to taste delicious because it's made in a self-contained unit, right? But the whole thing about this ice cube, so much thought went into it. First of all, that indentation is there because of the way that it's made, those stainless steel prongs back there. But also we wanted to give you that to give you more surface of the ice. So your drinks like your water or your iced coffee, they're going to cool down faster. It is still a bullet-shaped ice cube, which means it's going to melt slower. So when I am using it, and look at that, perfect size for even those tiny little openings, instead of grabbing those crescent moon shape from your refrigerator and jamming it in with the palm of your hand and getting hurt, you can pop this in easily. You were talking about just the creaminess of ice. Well, that little indentation there is going to give you more of a whipped flavor because the air is just whipped into it. So every morning when I get up, I'm going to turn on my ice maker. In 7 minutes, I have my favorite frozen fruit. I've got some ice and I've got just juice. There is no dairy needed whatsoever. And then I'm going to give it a quick turn. Now think about that. You could add your favorite protein shake, protein powder, or on a Friday night, your favorite coconut rum. However you want to make it, you can do it. But watch this. Now, that was just a quick little turn, quick little spin, and watch how creamy this is. It's honestly like a sorbet. It is outstanding. And there's no dairy whatsoever. That's what that little indentation is going to give you. It's going to whip the air through, making it creamy.
Well, and it's interesting. Our mutual friend Amanda, you know how women have, you know, pregnancy cravings of pickles and ice cream. She was craving this ice. So I
was so jealous of that.
I do, because I consider myself a water snob. I do have kind of a picky palate, and I can absolutely distinguish, you know, at least, you know, between different brands that I sip of water or what have you. There's a difference in ice. And I think once you take that, I'll say flavor factor out of having your ice taste just, I don't know, kind of like burnt or whatever happens in that freezer. I mean, I don't know. I probably don't want to know. This is always that crystal clear on-demand ice. And remember, you just choose your color of choice. Stainless is usually the most popular. There's that great blue. It's like a turquoise blue. There's our copper. Our red is really a nice, you know, brilliant, kind of like a sports car red. And then we call this black, but it really is sort of a hematite color. It's on sale. It's got a flex pay of $32.49. You could apply and buy and take $40 off if you're a brand new or a first-time HSN charge card holder. So we just encourage you to get it at home. There is still a 30-day return policy. And Rebecca, you know what's so funny is we don't do this 12 months out of the year. So even though we're moving into what I would call ice making or ice, you know, party season, whether it's the barbecue, Memorial Day, 4th of July, you know, whatever social pod of get together we're doing, We don't really do this in the summer months. It's funny that we don't offer it on the air during the months of the year when I'm really thinking, hey, I need ice. It is true, though. We don't always have this in stock, right?
We don't. We actually go through it very, very quickly, and we try to offer it right around the holidays because this is a lifesaver when it comes to all of your get-togethers, especially the holidays. And then we try to do it around now when people are starting to go outside, but we sell through them so quickly, we're not able to get them back in stock. And I think what people love about it is how portable it is. Remember, only 18 pounds. The fact you don't need a drain, you don't need a water line, you simply add water. And then you get to choose small ice or large ice. That small ice is great when you are wanting that blended, delicious consistency. The large is going to be perfect for your buffet needs, maybe your blanching needs, Shannon, or also all of your mixed drinks that you really want to enjoy. So when I'm making that martini, I just can go in here. Take a look at this. This is that full tray I'm talking about. It's so full. And I've just had it on for a little while. I'm going to take that ice. I'm going to fill up my shaker. It is going to be the best martini because you're not tasting what you made for dinner last night. I call that ice in my freezer, I should say, like funky ice. I think it tastes funky. Give it a couple shakes, and all you're enjoying is that expensive alcohol that you paid for, not the Brussels sprouts or the freezer burn you were talking about. You can actually enjoy the actual flavor of what the drink is.
And you know, there's a whole method to the madness, so to speak, because of that ice design, where this is how restaurants make ice. I mean, it really is. So it helps disperse that cooling of whatever beverage you're putting this in, you know, nice and easily, so it doesn't overly water down the drink or dilute it. But when I say creamy, dreamy ice, if you only use this in smoothies or your protein shakes, certainly I love it for the cooking aspects because no kidding, when you are blanching vegetables or, you know, even adding cool water, like a cooling water bath for, say, like the ganache that I'm doing over the weekend, you're really gonna love having this. And the hardest thing to do is just pick your color of choice. HSN exclusive, the most portable version, Ice Baby in 7 minutes. And Rebecca, I gotta tell you, you know what? We need to get something on the books. You know that? We need
to,
please. We have to, because I'm inviting you because I know you'll have good ice to bring.
And I can take this with me, right? I'll come to your house. Anytime you have those ice emergencies, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you text me. I'll be over there.
Oh, girl, it's on. You know I am going to be texting you. Well,
you know, I'm your girl.
I love you, even if you wouldn't have great ice. Rebecca, thank you. Continue to be safe out there, okay?
You too. Take care.
Thank you, my love. All right, well, thank you for getting social with us. In fact, Connie G, congratulations. You are tonight's $25 gift card winner. Thank you to everybody for getting social with us. Send an email with your name, mailing address, and